Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Big Stevie here. It is midday, November the 7th, Friday. We've got another weekend ahead of us. It'll probably depress us at Dens Park, but the big question on my lips today, this afternoon, is Kevin Thelwell picking the team? So yeah, it's a big question. Can I answer it? I don't know, but I'm seeing it in the comments. I'm seeing it everywhere across socials, word from mouth, across the board. Is Kevin Thelwell picking this team? Well, let's investigate this claim. So, let's go back to Russell Martin. Russell Martin gets sacked. Now, even around the Russell Martin games, pretty much every European game Yusuf Shamiti started. I mean, there might be one out the four that he's not. Well, let's face it, folks, there's a case for him not to start a single one. I'll say there's a case, there's more than a case, man. It would be an office block worth of files in terms of this guy starting a game of football for us up front. It's like the guy's missing chances, right? But because he's not ballooning them, he's getting almost like a fucking participation medal, almost like Ali McCoist. He hit the side netting, then afterwards he rolls it into their goalie's hands. Oh, well done, Shamiti, that's much better. Is it? Is it really? We've spent 8 million on this guy, rising to 10. It's no better. It's a disgrace. The recruitment is a shambles. And obviously, people may not know, or may not understand, but the reason why Kevin Thelwell is being accused of picking the team is because of decisions like this. Yusuf Shamiti starting all these games. Now, what is the best way to justify a transfer fee? I'll tell you the best way to justify a transfer fee. Game time, goals, assists that come with it. If he's rotting on the... Well, he's rotting anyway, but the point is, if he's rotting, ING, on the bench, not getting many minutes, and his goals and assists are down, then that's going to look bad for Kevin Thelwell, right? Of course it is. But the fact of the matter is this, it's still going to look bad for him, even though he's playing. But the only way for him to score, get his numbers up, goals and assists, is to play. So immediately, that's looking like the case. Then you look across the rest of the players, all these loans that's been brought in, most of them for Kevin Thelwell's pals down in England, agent fees, loan fees. Honestly, man, when you factor in the likes of Makoma, Dijiga, Aarons, Mikey Moore, I might be missing one other loan, but those four that come to the top of my head, it's like, what are we actually doing? I think it's Derek Canellis. Derek Canellis is a loan. That's in Marseille though, so I don't really think he's... I don't really want to put him in the same category, because I feel like all these lower English signed players are... They can be held in their own regard, but you can fire Canellis in as well. We're being forced to play all these guys, man. And to be fair, there's a few of these loanees like Derek Canellis. I have no problem with playing. For me, he's our best centre back. But then you look at it and you look at Dijiga. You look at the fact that Suter's out of contract, so's Tav at the end of the year. McComa's alone. I mean, and then you get Max Aarons. Pretty much our entire backline will be different next summer. Now, maybe there is actually some respite in that. Maybe we can take something from that, because there's probably not a single one of them you'd want to keep. So therefore, completely rewriting it and ripping it up is a good thing. You could argue that. I mean, look at Derek McInnes at Hearts, brings in Stuart Finlay. Then you've got the likes of Alexander Gogic at St Mirren. And people stick their nose up at these guys, but they know the league, they know the environment, and they know how to do the basics. I mean, you would assume that John Suter would know how to do the basics, but at some point they've got lost in translation. He can do it alright, well, half alright for Scotland, but he can't do it for us. Alright, so that sucks in itself. And also, the key thing for me that points towards Kevin Thelwell being the guy picking the team. And is he picking the entire team? No, I don't think he is. I think he's just picking a lot of these players that he's signed for big money to try and get a bit of pressure off him and his wee pals Stuart's back. And he'll probably do the exact same in January when his son, who's our head of recruitment, by the way, in case you were living under a rock, brings in some shitey ass players. But the proof in the pudding for me is the fact that Gerrard and Muscat both got to advanced stages after talks with Andrew Kavanagh, etc. Then they hit the stumbling block of Stewart and Thelwell, which for me is going to be a simple case of, well, guess what, buddy? If you don't do it our way, then you're not becoming the manager. And they went, well, guess what? We're not becoming the manager. And now, it could be a whole host of things, but I mean, would we be surprised if there was... I mean, I'm not saying in their talks with Gerrard and Muscat, they literally state it. Here, when you become manager, you can pick 8 of the 11 players because we're picking the other 3 to justify our summer. I'm not saying that because they would never reveal that, but what it would be say, they'd be like, you are a head coach, you are limited in the aspects of what you can do at this job, Gerrard. This ain't the Title 55 season, this is Thelwell and Friends season. And the fact that Muscat and Gerrard turned the job down and they've brought in Danny Rowe, it makes Danny Rowe, as we've said in the past couple of weeks, it makes him look like a bit of a yes man. Now, I would say, as a truck goes past, another truck, oh yeah, we love the trucks, troublesome trucks anyway. I would say you would believe with Danny Rowe, considering that Rangers were kind of left on 1-1, we were snookered. The black was behind the white. We had nothing. We had nothing left. Ian Beale style. Gerrard and Muscat, our top 2 targets, turned us down. Danny Rowe essentially withdrew through the race. You would think with us having to go back to him in borderline, I mean, I think beg would be too extreme a term, but you'd think that he would get a few sweeteners, but he hasn't. Or a few less restrictions, so to speak, but we don't really know what's going on. But there's obviously been a stumbling block that's prevented Gerrard and Muscat from agreeing to this, but Danny Rowe has somehow agreed to it. Either or, folks, there's something fishy about what's going on, because it's not just 1 or 2 games with Yusuf Shamiti, it's every game the guy plays. Was he the worst performer tonight? No, I don't think he was. And I think the most damning, last night, I think the most damning thing about that Roma game is probably a lot of our players played some of their best games this season, and it's a 2-0 win where we offered practically hee-haw. I mean, a couple of chances, but it's a game of football, folks. You're going to get half chances at the end of the day. And honestly, man, I'm petrified of where this season goes next. Honestly, because we've got Dundee up next ahead of an international break. I mean, I don't need to explain why we need to win, because we just need to win every game, if we're being honest. Easier said than done, but if we draw or drop points to Dundee, and we're going like 16, 17 points behind Hearts and 7, 8 points again behind Celtic, then you've seriously got a question like, well, what is actually going on? Ibrox is emptying, there's nobody going, the atmosphere is dead, and that's not me even anywhere near remotely having a dig, because there's just a disconnect across everybody, man. We don't score, we concede buckets of goals. I mean, even when we do score, the season's that dead and buried, there's just no excitement. You don't feel any connection to any of these players. It's just fucking dead. It's gone. It's like, there's just, is there a way back? Can we come back? I'd love to know it, but I just look across the board, and it's alright looking to say, oh, we'll get to January, let's just go on vacation to January. I'm seeing people like make all these Football Manager references, right? It's all good saying that, but there's nobody in this team that we can realistically sell on and be able to like replace players with our money. And it ain't just entirely right this season kind of gimmick. How many players have played under Michael Beale, Clement, Barry, Martin, and now Danny Rowe? You know, you can maybe forgive a player for 1 or 2 managers, right? But I'm talking about the old guard. Nico Raskin, we all thought he was going to step up to task. Where is he? He's hiding. Right, I mean, he's playing hide and seek. You've got John Suter being an absolute bomb scare, Diamonde being rotten, Danilo scored the goal against Hibs, he's been missing the last 2 games. Miofsky's been missing, albeit he's only played under 2 managers, but he did it for Aberdeen, why can't he do it for us? So yeah, I think we're going to leave it there, guys. But I just look at this team and it's, I mean, yo, I hope in January we somehow muster money together and bring some new faces in, because by God do we need it. But I mean, we're talking about, oh, you can't even get rid of guys like Ben Davies, you can't get rid of guys like Matondo, Kieran Doyle, and yeah, some have come and went, some are still on the books. I think we've got a whole new roster of guys like that, shiftless bastards on big wages that we just won't be able to shift, and that is the worst thing ever, because you're stuck with them, they take up wages and no one wants them, and at best it seems you get with it is, oh, we'll loan them out and we'll pay 50% of their wages, yada yada yada, that kind of thing. It's just, it's rock bottom, man. And yeah, it's like at least in the summer there, you sell Dessers, you sell Igamani, you sell Jeffy, a few other people, and to be honest, obviously, I did say when we sold Dessers, as much as we all wanted rid of him, because we need someone more clinical, there's no way you could get rid of Dessers not knowing that you've replaced him with someone good. And I thought Bojan Miloski could have been that, but by God, you could have went and got Shankland for free, you could have went and got Braga. These guys, if we actually, football's moving on, and in Scotland it looks like one team is moving with the times, and that's the Jamestown Analytics. And yeah, Hearts might not win the league this year, right? They might lose it to Celtic, however, and push comes to shove. But there's one thing I can say right here, right now. The way we're being run and the way Hearts are being run, there's more chance of Hearts finishing above us more times than we finish above them in the next decade. With the way we're being, and can anyone dispute that? I don't think you can. You would think with the amount of money that we can spend, it'll get better. But if we give Thelwell, his son, Stuart, 40 million each window, and then they sell our best assets, and then replace them with Dross like you did this summer, we're going to get worse. Then European football dries up, you don't get any of that. And then we become just an also-ran in a team that wins the odd cup every 10 years. And if you look at our cup return the last 13 years, I mean, it already feels like that. So I don't know where we go, but yeah, we're being run like a circus, and there's no two ways about it. So we'll leave it there. Yeah, not exactly the sobering talk I wanted to do at 6 AM, but I always speak the truth, and I think we're done. No, honestly, man, I think we're snookered. I see no way back, no light at the end of the tunnel, and yeah, done.